Hello there and welcome to a quick brief stream with myself, Stevo. Kind of wanting to look over the mini leagues in the Elite FPL community, specifically the YouTube chat league, members league and rivals league, just to kind of get an idea of who to bet on. Because it gives me a general gauge of what players we've got left to play, what different combinations. For argument's sake, I know that Firetogger's got 2 West Ham. I think it's Zuma and Areola, but he's also got Trippier playing today, or something like that. I can't remember what it was. And there's also someone else that's got double West Ham, but they're also playing they got double Newcastle, but they're playing a West Ham attacker. I can't remember who that was. Maybe I've got the combinations wrong way around, but I've got today Areola, Trippier, Cash, Salah captain, Ward-Prowse, who's going to be a bit of a differential Ward-Prowse. I'm not really expecting much from him. Alvarez and that differential in Haaland. I've just done a quick total Steve, the podcast in the car with some random road rage moments, like a genuine one as well, where some idiot decides to come around the corner too fast, completely oblivious, and just stares at you, like the zombies that most people are these days. Jesus, there was one girl at the hospital yesterday, one of the healthcare assistants. Jesus Christ, like you're in a vehicle that's driving at 4 miles an hour with a bin that's just making more noise than an earthquake, and yet she's just walking towards you. I had to go beep just to stop her from walking in front of me. She's like, Too many of these people these days. George Romero predicted it back in the 1960s with his fantastic films, Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, etc., etc. But we're not here to talk about zombies, are we? But I was just talking on that podcast about people that have decided to sell Haaland and everything, and now today they're going to come out with the line, I'm going to hide behind my sofa. I'm going to hide behind my sofa. You chose to sell him. What did Jason tweet? I can't be bothered to bring it up because I haven't got my phone on me, but Jason tweeted something about words to the effect of, you're playing with fire when you get rid of Haaland. And I generally hope that anybody that captained Haaland, including Jason, I'm praying that Haaland just destroys it, whereas preferably not Darwin, because I've got Darwin in my Sky team, and he is somebody that could get me number 1 in the Burnley mini league. So I am kind of counting on Darwin to hopefully get a goal, maybe a goal and assist, maybe 2 goals in their 3-1 win, the standard Brighton result, whether it's 3-1 to them or the other way around. But certainly the likes of Watkins, Darwin, Alvarez, etc., even though I don't really want Alvarez to blank, but you know what I mean. The people that have basically got rid of Haaland and replaced him with Solanke, Vinicius, Winnersh. And I really do hope Haaland punishes these people. And then on tonight's Sunday Surgery, live at 8 o'clock with me and Jason, none of these people will be willing to come live on air. And then if they do come on air, it's, why did I sell him for? Why? But yeah, I'm expecting big things from today's games. I'm probably, again, this is a bit of a test stream, but if everything goes to plan, I'm potentially going to be covering all the matches today, including the Man City match, because it's very important. I'm personally hoping Jason can stream with me, because I hate streaming on my own, and I can bounce off him and everything, and he can cover one of the games while listening into the radio while I'm watching Liverpool versus Brighton or whatever. So I'm really hoping Jason can. I've already messaged him about it, but obviously he's very, very busy at the moment with various circumstances. But I'm certainly wanting to cover the Man City Arsenal game as well. I just think, like I said, FPL Juice kind of inspired me to kind of, well, not necessarily push the limits, but just continue doing what we at Elite, as Llama says, we are Elite FPL, we at Elite FPL do. So I'm kind of wanting to get us all involved and have a laugh. But yeah, that video I did yesterday, I haven't watched it back. I daren't watch it back. It seems to have got a lot of views so far. The thumbnail, that wasn't created by me. That has got nothing to do with me. In fact, I actually chose that because what YouTube does, it gives you 3 different thumbnails to choose from if you haven't got a generic one, like the brilliant one that Alex Vollo has got up here. So it just gives you 3 images that are the most impactful from the video that you've done. And it had, that wasn't even the one that it gave me. The one that it normally does is the... That's pretty much every members video. Like that. But this one actually came up with the... Or as Mr. Reed's one. If anybody follows me on Twitter, you'll understand that that joke. But yeah, I kind of meant every word I said last night, and like I say, I go into a lot more harsher reasonings and opinions on my little podcast that I do. Try and get me into #1 in the comedy section on Spotify, yeah? As Mark Goldbridge says. Keep downloading. Make sure you download. No reason to download it. It doesn't give you a reason why to download it. It just says download it just so I can get to number 1 in the sports content creation list on Spotify. I always give a reason. If you like The Office, listen to the Total Steeler podcast because I'm doing a review and giving anecdotes about my own work situations. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I don't particularly care whether you like it or not, but because that's why I recommend other podcasts to listen to, i.e. Wern and Blog. But yeah, with what I was saying last night, I was trying to get the point across that the reality is that content creators like us, like FPL Juice, they need as much support as they get because we put a lot of work, hours. I mean, I do roughly, people that watch this that aren't a member, they won't realise this, but I do give or take a members video every day. Pretty much Monday to Friday is guaranteed a members video. They equate to what, an hour? Sometimes they go to an hour and a half long. And then you throw into the amount of streams that we do, which average what, 3 or 4 a week, times that by 2, that's 8 hours. I'm doing roughly 13 hours, 14, maybe 15 hours worth of Elite FPL content alone. By the way, I'm not asking you to suck my dick and be, oh my God, Steve-O, you're fucking amazing at doing this. No, it's got nothing to do with that. I'm just making the point that a lot of work and effort goes into, but not necessarily behind the scenes, but certainly the content that we bring the hardcore Elite FPL audience and all the supporters of the show. Whereas I was making the point of the Total Steeler podcast, you look at any... You do it now. Do it right now. Go on Patreon. Do it right now. Turn this shit off and go on Patreon and look at what... And just type in FPL and it will come up with various FPL channels and see what they offer you for supporting the show for $8.99, $12.99. Ooh, you get your message read out on a deadline stream to tell you who to bring in. Ooh, great. $12.99 for that. Oh, you get an emoji as well. Right. Personalised. Again, you don't have to become a member. You don't have to become a member of us. You don't have to become a member of FPL Juice or anything. But the amount of money that clearly goes into, for an argument's sake, FPL Juice to give the amount of prizes that they do, it's absurd. You know, I made a joke, but it's true, that I found £1 today. Found £1 outside the gym. Picked up and I thought, that'll go towards a tin of tuna. Because people like me, working class individuals that work, every fucking penny matters. It's like someone messaged me the other day privately and they said about, I will be addressing this in the Total Steeler podcast, but they were talking about, I'm surprised you live in London. You know, my brief brief appearance down there while I was working. I couldn't stand it, and I'm amazed you even live down there. And I make the point that I can't wait to leave, and I will be leaving soon. I just want to kind of see how this new job goes and where I am in a year, maybe. But I have a feeling this time next year I'm gone, and I don't have a clue what that means for Elite FPL, because the internet down in Devon is terrible. But certainly there are big changes going on in my life at the moment, and certainly one of the main things in my life that's getting on my tits is living in London. And when you are a individual in my circumstances, where you have literally nothing other than a tiny room. I've chosen to move into a bigger room within this house share, which costs a lot of money for me. And then I choose to spend my money on whatever I can afford to. The reality of the situation is that I'm just about getting by. So, me finding £1 on the floor, we can all laugh about it's a quid, mate. Yeah, to you maybe. To me, it's a lot of money. To me, £1 is a lot of money. Admittedly, I'm going to be putting those on 250p bets, albeit I only do online betting now, and I've actually been, as well, with my online betting, I've been collating the bets that I've been doing each week. And turns out, so game week 1 to game week 7, and I also did a Champions League bet. So game week 1 I was plus £4.76, game week 2 minus 67p, game week 3 minus £1.28, game week 4 86p up, game week 5 down by £3.78. The Champions League bet I won 63p total profit. Game week 6 minus £1, I can't even do the maths here, £1.60. And then game week 7 I was down by 17p. And my idea is, with WilliamHill.com, my idea is to just literally have whatever money is in that account and just leave it. I'm not putting any money in. I'm not taking any money out. I started with a tenner and I'm down to, I think it's like £5.22, something like that, roughly, that I'm on. And what I'll be doing is I'll be putting down my 50p bets on, like I said, the popular options, like, for argument's sake, Bowen, goal or assist. Basically players, the way I do it is I put it on players that I don't own. So yeah, the likes of Bowen at 50p, anytime goal scorer, or put it. I'm £5.8p in the kitty. So £5.8p I've got there. So yeah, it'd be like the likes of Darwin, Diaz for definite. I'm glad I didn't do it yesterday, because I normally bet on Alex Volo. If you're watching, I normally bet on his players that he brings in, because somehow he's got the Midas touch. Didn't work yesterday though, did Alex? And that's another thing with the history as well, talking of Alex, because he brought in Solanke. And the history suggested, admittedly, because as an average, across the last 6, Bournemouth have done very well against Everton, albeit at home. What were the scores in the history again? Remind me, Denver. 3-1 Bournemouth, 3-1 Bournemouth, 4-1 Bournemouth, 3-1 Bournemouth. And then the 2 games at home for Everton, 1-0, 2-0. What was yesterday? 3-0. So even the history kind of predicted in some weird way that Everton were going to keep a clean sheet, but there could be goals in the game, so to speak. He's relying, Alex is relying, I know for fact, on Neto as a simple example. So I'll be 50p on him, 50p on Diaby, 50p on Watkins. Despite the fact I'm expecting those to be quite tight games, as I said yesterday, I pride myself on my predictions. I still say it, I'm gutted that Man United scored that second goal, because I really was thinking to myself, that 1-1 will push me right up in the Super Group, because no one would have predicted 1-1 to Man United. But, like everybody's, most people with the Brighton-Liverpool game are literally all saying, lots of goals, it's going to be lots of goals. So there's your 0-0 or your 1-0 Liverpool. West Ham, Newcastle, people like myself are saying it's going to be tight. A lot of people are saying 1-1 or 2-1 to Newcastle. There's your boring, or more specifically, there's your high-scoring 5-4 goals galore. James Ward-Prowse will do fuck all. Wolves versus Aston Villa. Most people are predicting Aston Villa win. I'm expecting a tight game victory there for Aston Villa. I've gone 2-1. So that means Wolves are going to be winning 1-0. Then Arsenal, Man City. Everybody's thinking, yeah, Man City, they're going to absolutely annihilate Arsenal. It's going to end up 1-1, isn't it? All I really care about today is, for obvious reasons, I was going to say Son then, Salah to really absolutely storm it. In fact, talking of Son, I saw that Nathan Bacon, he tweeted out a very amusing tweet earlier regarding the highlights of the season and how he's playing FPL. He's just having a lot of fun with it this year. And he basically said that, look, this is what I've done well so far. These are some of the highlights this year. And who did he captain yesterday? Maddison. So Maddison got 3 more points than Son. But it's still 3 more points better than the popular captaincy pick. It's like when people talk about, for instance, when people went Salah over Haaland, and even though the fortuitous circumstances turned out that Haaland got a yellow card, so he gets 1 point and Salah gets 2 points, but technically Salah beat Haaland by 1 point, as a simple example. And there are people out there that do go against the grain and do choose to captain anyone other than Haaland, or they go for players like, there will be people that captain Sterling, as a simple example. Yesterday, there will be someone out there, and it will pay off for obvious reasons. But it's like Triggerlip says, like with poker and betting in general, especially with the experts, that over a sustained period of time, normally within reason the experts come out on top, whereas the ones that, one day they decided to put a chip on black and it ends up winning $1,000, and then for the preceding year they decide, right, I'm putting black always on that number or whatever, and it never comes through, and eventually they're down by 500 quid or whatever. I don't know. But it's the same within this game. It's, I was looking at one of the mini leagues today and I'm like, even though I'm third in it, but remember, I'm doing appallingly at this game. I'm third by 1 point. I'm behind the girl that's 1 point, and this is her team. Areola, Trippier, Anderson, Romero, Udogie, Odegaard, Almiron, Fernandes, Rashford, Haaland captain, and Watkins. On the bench, Franchi, who? I think he even plays for Burnley, would you believe? Dennis Frankie of Burnley. Never heard of him. You got Gusko, Ward-Prowse and Edouard on the bench. Simple example. In second spot, this is his team. Onana in goal. And by the way, this is second spot, beating me by 1 point. Onana in goal. Cash, Chilwell, Akanji, Bell, Saka, Foden, Matoma, Rashford, Haaland, captain, Isaac. On the bench, Areola, Rice, Watkins, Udogie. So Rice is going to come on for Chilwell, and Udogie is going to be coming on for Bell. And there's a small possibility that Watkins is going to come on for Saka. Again, I like to think over the many, many months that we go through this season, I'd like to think that I will eventually end up taking over these individuals. But I don't proclaim to be any good at this game. And I never will. Like I say, I just like talking about from a mini league perspective, which is the whole point of the stream right now. And what I'll do is I'll just quickly go through the YouTube chat league for 6 seconds. And while I do, in fact, Alex Volo is number 1. I've just seen that right now. He's now top. Before I do, let's just quickly say hello to... Nope, I am not taking any phone calls. I'm literally leaving this building the second I'm finished. This is just a selfish one. Just call tonight on the Sunday surgery. That's what it's there for. So morning, A. Dawson. How did your Richarlison captaincy go? Oh, there's no one even talking in this. So, Mr. Reed, Dominic Ward, Matthew Zaishi, whoever that is, Gamer Gamarov, Ray. Good morning. And then we've got isn't it Cal? I'm sure it is. And then we've got someone that's actually brand new to the show, Peppermint Freedom. Yeah, A. Dawson captained Richarlison yesterday. Not gonna lie, it did make me chuckle, but it didn't come through. But anyway, let's get on with it. So just quickly going through the mini leagues. We've got Alex Follow. The players that he's got left today are Neto and Diaz. Neto, Diaz, and Foden. That's a nice. I'll tell you what. From a what do we call it? A differential point of view, they're very, very good, nice little differentials, Alex. So there's your 50. There's £1.50 down the pan. Cheers for that, Alex. He is, as it stands right now, 6 points clear of no weak foot, and he's got differential wide. Oh, he had Sanchez yesterday, so he's got Cash, Bowen, Saka, Alvarez on top of Alex Volo. So Cash, Bowen, Alvarez, and Saka. By the way, if Harbour Boy's listening in, which he's not, I need him, or if anybody could write in the chat or whatever, can you tell me what what website is for literally the live mini league updates? Because I kind of want to go through that today. It just saves me so much bloody time. Vijay, who's doing exceptionally well, although he has dropped down a lot this week, but again, most of his players hasn't even played, but he played his wild card. Who's left to play on that wild? Jesus Christ, why would you buy Neto? I'm not being funny, Vijay, but why the fuck would you buy Neto with Bournemouth? Get a grip of yourself. Jesus fucking Christ. It really angers me when people are doing really well at this game and they make decisions like that. Neto of Bournemouth. Piss off. So anyway, he's got Trippier, Trent Alexander-Arnold. I bet you can't wait for those 2 points. So Trippier, Trent, Diaby will play. Salah captain. Now Vijay's been very good with his captaincies this year. It usually works out that he's better than the popular pick. So I'm expecting 5 points today then. instead of Suns 3. He's also got Ward-Prowse, Watkins, and Alvarez. On the bench, he's bench Cash Kafau. It's a strong bench, Vijay, a very strong bench indeed. And then in fourth spot, we've got Nick Treadwell. He's joint fourth with Vijay. There's nothing in it. He's got double. Yeah, so here we go. Trippier, Shah, Cash, Saka. Wow, he had Richarlison captain yesterday. Wow. That's really unfortunate. Richarlison captain, Salah, Alvarez, and Haaland. So all these players, there is between Alex Volo and Nick Treadwell in fourth, there is a whopping 13 points. 13 points in those particular fixtures, and majority have got, it looks like, the same. Matty Cash, Trippier, Watkins. Then we look at the Members League, anybody that's different. So Matty T is a simple example, who's just a few points behind No Weak Foot. He's got... Sorry, that is just really weird. That's just thrown me, that. So... what team did I just read out just now regarding Nick Treadwell? I was just thinking I was looking at his team then. So Nick Treadwell, I'll just repeat myself. Trippier, Shah, Cash are the players in defence that he's got playing today. And with Matty T, he's got Trippier, Burn, and Cash. And he's got Foden, Saka, Salah, Alvarez, Haaland. Bloody hell. 8 players left to play, plus your captain, so 9 players left to play for Matty. Stephen Horn, apologies, I don't know who Stephen Horn is, but thank you for the support. Again, there's literally, 10, 11, 12 points between him and Vigard, sorry, that's 4th. He had Johnston. Well done. He's helped me get into 2nd on the Burnley Mini League in the Sky game, so he's got Trippier cash. Bowen, DRB, he had Sun Captain, Odegaard, Haaland and Watkins. So the Odegaard one, that's come out from the blue there, and I do you know what, Stephen? Odegaard normally does one in the big games, so expect something from him today. Vigard had Pickford finally coming through, 9 points, and then he's got another one with Odegaard. What do they know that we don't? What do 3rd and 4th know that I don't? But he had Captain Salah, son. Odegaard, Saka, Hall and Alvarez. So all in the one game today. Oh, he's got Matty Cash. He's got Matty Cash. Crazy. And there's Tyler there. Again, joint points with 4th spot. And again, there's like I said, 12 points covering the top 4. And then finally in the Rivals League, I don't know if there's anybody different to talk about there. Alex Vollo's top. Vijay, Nick Treadwell, someone called Dean Lewis. Is that Dino? Any chance? By the way, it's not a good thing that I don't recognise the name. They have to get banned. So Dean Lewis, reveal yourself. Who are you? He's got Nick Pope. That's different. Nick Pope, Trippier cash. Foden. Why did Haaland go up yesterday as well? What is this? Just every Man United fan bringing in this Haaland or something? How the fuck he went up in price yesterday? But yeah, Nick Pope. That's a really interesting differential as a goalkeeper there for this Dean, and I can see there that it is Cal, isn't it? D'Angel Trubarak. Scousers United. He played his wild card. Aren't you the one that you said you weren't going Haaland? Are you the one that was on the show with Jason on Friday and you went, I'm not going with Haaland, not going to go with him, I'm being really strong? So you went with him in the end. Neto and Bowen. Anderson coming through yesterday. Pedro Porro, he could be good. He did well for me on Sky. But yeah, he's got Areola, Neto. Neto's the interesting one, but certainly it looks like I'll be spending out of that £5, about £2 worth of 50p. But Schluber, how do you join the mini league? Ask a moderator. I don't have a clue. I've never had a return from my goalkeeper, the Flying Dutchman said. Oh, right. So Dean Lewis is here right now, and he is 4th spot in the Rivals League. Ha! Crazy. Right there, 4th. Anyway, let's get out of here. I'm done. Jason can't join me, annoyingly, but yeah, he's got family commitments at the end of the day, so it looks like this test stream went quite well. Make sure you join myself at 2 o'clock for all the games, and like I say, I'm probably going to do there's no probably, I will be doing the Arsenal Man City game as well. Cheers all, thanks for watching.